to kick off the college football slate for this week. Florida State taking on Louisville. Florida State 2-point road favorites currently, 54.5, 55 the total, depending on where you look right now. When it comes to this game here, Florida State and Louisville, I think when you look at it here with these two teams, Louisville proved me wrong last week. You got to admit when you're wrong. And I thought Louisville was a worry for me after the way they looked against Syracuse, but they bounced back strong. A very good second half, really on both sides of the football. Malik Cunningham, he was terrible throwing the ball last week against UCF. Again, the passing game is a concern for Louisville, but Malik Cunningham was able to run the football very effectively, especially in the second half. UCF had no answer for it, and Louisville was able to finally contain Plumlee at quarterback for UCF. UCF couldn't do that with Cunningham, and that was the difference as Louisville gets a 20-14 bounce-back victory on the road last week against Central Florida. So now they're back home for their first home game of the season here against Florida State, a Florida State team that didn't play actually last week. They're off a bye following that crazy first game of the season for them, that Sunday night affair on Labor Day weekend against LSU. Just an insane finish. It ended up being a missed extra point at the end for LSU. And it ends up being a Florida State victory, 24-23. I like the way the Noles played in the victory, especially on the defensive side of the football. They did a pretty good job against Jaden Daniels, the quarterback, the Arizona State transfer for LSU. They allowed him to run the football, but they kept the running backs contained. Noah Cain only had 7 attempts, 23 rushing yards. And to me, that's going to be the key for Florida State. And any team that faces Louisville, you slow them down on the ground and you force Malik Cunningham to have to become a pocket passer, you beat Louisville because he's not a great pocket passer. I've seen enough now of Cunningham to figure that out. I think Florida State's got the defense to be able to contain Cunningham, keep him in the pocket, don't let him get to the edge. UCF had issues with that. I think Florida State will do a better job. I like the Noles here at anything less than a field goal. I had higher expectations coming into the season for Florida State than I did Louisville. They have the extra time to prepare for Mike Norvell not playing last week. That's an advantage for them going into this game. So anything less than a field goal, which is where this line is right now, I'm looking at FSU in this matchup. Conor Mack, what do you think here? ACC on Friday night, Florida State, Louisville.
Yeah, that should be a good one. Florida State, you mentioned it, basically 2 weeks to get after this one, to go on the road at Louisville. I thought they looked good, and I thought Travis looked good in the pocket. That's kind of the best I've seen him. He's gotten better. And on the other side, Cunningham hasn't. I think, that second half was better. He made a couple key throws. But, wow, that first half was rough to watch. And really, they just ran it. And that was just an excellent second half, not only offensively, but by the defense. Just UCF couldn't get anything done. It seemed after that first half, that missed field goal, they just couldn't get anything done here. This will be big for Florida State. This is big for their program. They haven't been 3-0 since 2015. But a night game, Louisville's got to be jacked up here. 2 quarterbacks I really don't trust, both athletic in this one. I don't know if this gets Florida State over 3, because -3, because I'm going to look to Louisville here. And that's crazy to say because they've been so Jekyll and Hyde with me, Ian. I've had a hard time with Cunningham at quarterback backing this team in certain situations. That's one of these I've been bad with them, ATS. But the home team's been good in this rivalry. The over's been good. The last 16 games is 11-5. And the home team's been good in this series, 5-2 ATS. So I'm a little bit this early on Monday. I'm leaning with Louisville slightly in this game. It'll be interesting because I thought the defense had played well. What do you think about this total here around 54.5?
I thought they both played well. Florida State's defense played very well against LSU, and Louisville looks like they're going to be an under team because I don't know if they don't play fast. They're very run heavy, and we saw that against Syracuse. That game's they're 2-0 to the under, and both games stayed under the total with ease, and both of the totals were in the high 50s. And so, while this one's not the high 50s, but it's the mid 50s, that's still a lot of wiggle room. So I'm not in a rush to bet an over personally in this game.
Yeah,
that's the way I see it.